Hello, I'm Jeremy Slager, Executive Director at Ballet 58, and I'm here with Miranda Rubio Opsal, company artist with the ballet company, and playing the role of Doña Celina for our upcoming production of La Llorona. So, Miranda, do you want to give a quick overview of your character, Doña Celina, for anybody who's interested as we are getting into this premiere of this beautiful new ballet?
Yeah, absolutely. So Doña Celina is the main character, Maria's mother-in-law. So Maria is married to Manuel. Doña Celina is Manuel's mother. Manuel is her oldest son, so as anyone who has experienced that family dynamic knows, she obviously cares greatly for her daughter-in-law, but her son is kind of her shining, sun, moon, and stars, as well as her grandchildren, which in the ballet she has 3 of, and takes a lot of joy in the fact that she's just welcomed a brand new grandson into her family.
And so Doña Celina is the matriarch of this family. Now, I don't think that you are a matriarch of a family just yet. So is there a person or a character that is kind of your inspiration as you are breathing life into this character?
Yeah, absolutely. So I have 2 different people that I've had in mind kind of as we're bringing Doña Celina to life. The first is my own grandmother, who is the matriarch of that side of the family, and she is my dad's mother, so he's her only son, and so she definitely has some of that. I've seen that relationship play through my parents and my grandmother of that love of a mother to son, but then there can be an awkwardness with a daughter-in-law to a mother-in-law, unintentional feelings hurt when miscommunications happen, and it can be difficult in that relationship to kind of step forward and communicate clearly because, it's not your own mother, though it is someone who loves you very much.
Yes.
And kind of on the flip side of things, I don't know how many of you guys have seen Encanto, but I do think of mi abuela
many times
from Encanto quite a bit while portraying Doña Celina, and just the strength she's had to push through since this ballet is set kind of in the old world right after the Spanish or the Mexican-American War. And so Doña Celina certainly had to persevere through much throughout her life to get to the place she's at.
Yes. And I love that concept of perseverance because that's something that I've had to see in you over the past several months. You had an injury, it was late or early April of 2024. And so this is your first time coming back onto the stage with Ballet 58 since that injury. How has that injury kind of transformed your training and kind of what made its way into the character that you're portraying? Yeah,
that's a great question. I think what's been interesting for me, this is not my first injury in my career, but it is kind of one of the first acute injuries that I experienced. So it came suddenly after a bad fall. And so in the process of recovery, this specific injury is a torn ligament, and ligaments don't repair themselves. The only way to move past that injury and to heal from it is to grow stronger, kind of muscularly. So throughout my process of recovery and now integrating into this ballet, I definitely had to build a lot of strength physically, and then with those physical demands, anyone who's tried to make gains in the gym knows that comes with a lot of kind of mental and emotional hardship, and you can hit what feels like walls often, where it's like I just can't push past to the next thing, no matter how much I want the next thing, right? Coming back to class, coming back to jumping, coming back to point work, coming back to stage, whatever the next goal and the next barrier towards getting back to what feels normal, right, in your life is. And so through that process, there's had to be a lot of physical strength built, but also a lot of mental resilience of choosing to look for gratitude and joy and hope, as opposed to letting kind of the despair of like, I'm never gonna dance it. Definitely had some of those dark nights of the soul where it's like, this is never gonna happen for me because it's so hard in this moment. But being able to look past the hard moment to the next thing, which is something I think Doña Celina has done a lot in her life. So I felt a lot of kind of analogous feelings along with her in that.
Yeah, and some of those words that you use really describe Doña Celina to me as well. That strength and that resilience and that ability to push through boundaries and walls to get to that next side, but also that wrestling with despair. How do you feel like, as her character arc is developing, how do you see that strength and resilience pushing through and that battle with despair? How do you bring that into one character through dancing?
Yeah, I think a couple things about that. I think it's interesting since the ballet's main character, Maria, she's clearly having a very, obvious and real struggle with despair in that postpartum depression, with that sadness. And I think for Doña Celina, a lot of her arc in the ballet, she could almost feel like she's not empathetic enough towards Maria. She's not caring enough towards her problem. And I think it really is the fact that Doña Celina has experienced many bad things in her life. She's had children of her own. She's experienced, losses in life. but she has this internal sense of like, I cannot let despair overcome me because I will build something better for the people after me. And I don't say that to say Maria doesn't have that, because she's clearly dealing with a lot more kind of brain chemistry wise, psychologically, than Doña Celina has. But I think that's where some of their kind of errors, misfires in communications come in, because Doña's like, well, Maria, I know it's hard, but you have to push on and go past the despair. And she wants her kind of to fast forward to the end of her own story a little quicker and just get beyond it. And I think we can see that oftentimes in matriarchs and patriarchs of our family, people who have done really great things to elevate our lives. And I've seen that in my own family as well, where these people have worked so hard to elevate what we have and given us more than they ever had in the beginning. But they're not interested in reliving the despair. They're not interested in reliving the hard times, and they would like everyone to just continue on and experience the joy that has been brought forth.
That's beautiful. When the curtain closes, the lights go out, and people and your audience looks back on the story of Doña Celina, what's kind of the message in the story that you hope that they go away with?
Yeah, I really hope people go away with knowing that no matter what you may feel, you know, if you feel that empathy with Maria, where maybe you see yourself as a Maria in life experiencing really, truly hard things, that you don't forget that even someone like Doña Celina, who might not seem like Maria's biggest cheerleader through the whole ballet, is still on her side, is still there to support her. When you look behind every like cultural barrier, every socioeconomic barrier, everything that divides them and pulls them apart, what brings them together at the end and throughout the story is that they love so deeply the people around them. Where Doña Celina loves her family. She loves her son, her grandchildren, her daughter-in-law. She even tries to love her daughter-in-law's sister. Kind of, you know, family by choice instead of family, you know, by chance. And Doña Celina embodies that, where she loves her people and she doesn't want anything to hurt them. So when she sees that it's Maria that may be hurting them, right, she gets prickly. But it's never that she didn't love Maria. It's just that she cares so deeply for each and every person in her family. And I want everyone to see that though you may encounter those people where it's like, you know, you don't feel like you're supporting me in the right way right now, it could be just coming from a place of almost misplaced love, of like, I'm trying so hard to love you well, but we're flawed humans. Doña Celina is a flawed human. She doesn't always know how to love the best way, even though she is loving, you know, with her whole soul. And
then which performances will you be playing the role of Doña Celina?
I will be playing Doña Celina at the Harris Theater on October 5th.
Excellent. So please join us on October 5th, and you can see Miss Miranda Rubio Opsal playing the role of Doña Celina. We'll see you there.